Well, 2 weeks ago, May 2nd, you blew the lid off of an amazing scandal of a Texas oil executive who was caught attempting to collude and conspiring to collude with other Texas oil companies, other American oil companies, and officials at OPEC, the Saudi Arabian and the Middle Eastern conglomeration of oil-producing countries, oil-producing and exporting countries. You caught this man colluding. You caught this man conspiring to collude with other companies, with OPEC, and this was his plan, because oil prices were dropping during the pandemic. He wanted to prop up oil prices by reducing output by American oil producers, reducing output by international oil producers. In fact, according to the FTC's complaint, by the way, you did file a complaint May 2nd, and Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to enter this complaint into the record. This is the public version of the complaint, without objection. In your complaint, you quoted this executive from Texas. He said, if Texas leads the way, maybe we can get OPEC to cut production. Maybe Saudi and Russia will follow. That is our plan. That was in your complaint. Madam Chair, this is not news to Americans. We saw during the pandemic, as price per barrel of oil leveled off, price at the pump per gallon of gas continued to rise and rise and rise. Everybody knew that we were being gouged. Everybody knew that record profits were being scored by the oil companies, the gas companies. Everybody knows that they're continuing to make very handsome profits. And people know that this executive that you singled out, that you caught conspiring with OPEC, is worth over $200 million. It isn't enough that American consumers are struggling to pay their bills, to make ends meet, as prices remain high after the pandemic. And prices are driven by oil prices and gas prices. Everything we buy has oil and gas prices baked in because it has to be delivered. It has to be transported. We knew this. Americans understand about the record profits of the oil companies, and it isn't enough that the gas prices are killing people. It isn't enough that the prices of everything continue to stay high. It isn't enough that these oil companies and multimillionaires and billionaires are still enjoying the fruits of the tax cuts they got in 2017. None of that's enough. Now they have to conspire with OPEC and with other oil companies to keep prices high at the pump by limiting production. What I want to ask you about this complaint is, would you explain to us why that's illegal, what I just described?
So the U.S. antitrust laws prohibit collusion, they prohibit price fixing, they prohibit coordinated output reductions. And so if we find executives publicly signaling, or as we found here as well, privately communicating with other executives, or in this case also with OPEC officials from countries like Saudi Arabia, saying effectively, hey, wouldn't it be great if we all collectively cut back production so that prices would stay high and we could pad our profits, that's something that's concerning.
Well, it concerns all of us here. I commend your work. Keep going, Chair Khan. Get after it. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.